I don't want to alarm any of you, but there's a severe health condition that will affect half of us in our lifetime. It has physical and psychological symptoms that can last for 14 years. And even when the symptoms subside, it can increase our risk for heart disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and many other chronic diseases. The worst part is, even though nearly all of us know about it and around half of us will experience it, it's still a bit of a taboo subject that's whispered about, if it's talked about at all. And I don't think this should be the case. So what is this health condition? Menopause. Signalling the end of our reproductive capabilities, menopause is a normal yet significant life event that can have far-reaching effects. Although it's often considered to be a condition that affects us as we enter middle age, menopause symptoms can begin in our 20s or 30s, and often we're simply not aware that it's happening. With both physical and emotional symptoms, menopause can have a tangible impact on all areas of our life, including our personal relationships with family and friends. Menopause is also a marker for many serious diseases. So over 3 parts, I want to look at what happens before and after menopause and the effects. I will also be looking at hormone replacement therapy and how it could help. And of course, I will also be exploring some of the lifestyle choices that can impact how you support your body. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be alerted when we release more videos. If we have more followers, it really does make an impact on our channel. So what exactly is menopause? Menopause is defined as being absent from periods for 12 months. The periods stop when the ovaries run out of eggs to release, signalling the end of reproduction. Menopause may occur earlier than this in the cases of a hysterectomy, for instance. The average age of menopause is 51, although it is not uncommon for women to experience it at a much earlier age. Before menopause, there is a period called perimenopause. Perimenopause literally means around the time of menopause. During this period, hormone levels begin to fluctuate and many people start to experience symptoms. Perimenopause and the symptoms can last for as long as 14 years. Perimenopause can occur many years before the actual menopause, and it isn't uncommon for women in their 30s, 40s, or even 20s to experience perimenopausal symptoms. Essentially, menopause is a hormone deficiency. There are many hormones at play, but in particular, a drop in the hormone estrogen causes many of the symptoms that we associate with menopause. We do also experience a decrease in the hormones progesterone and testosterone too. Estrogen is produced by the ovaries. As the number of eggs in our ovaries decreases, so does the estrogen production. Although estrogen is primarily a sex hormone, every single cell in the body responds to it, including our heart and blood vessels, bones, skin, hair, mucous membranes, and even our brain. If you have ovaries, you will already be familiar with slight hormonal fluctuations and the effect that they can have. So a surge in estrogen before our periods can cause PMS symptoms. However, hormonal fluctuations are even more significant during perimenopause. When it comes to diagnosing menopause, there are 2 significant problems. Firstly, there is currently no accurate test for menopause or perimenopause. This is because throughout the day, the levels of hormones can vary. So a test conducted at 9 AM could present very different results from a test conducted at 4 PM the same day. The second problem is that many symptoms are often overlooked or ignored. There are many reasons for this. So perhaps we brush the symptoms off or put them down to regular PMS, stress, or other things. Around the time in our lives that many of us experience perimenopause, life is usually quite busy. We often have children or teenagers at home, aging parents that need a bit more care, work and other stresses and strains of the modern world. Or often we ignore the symptoms because we suppose that we're too young to be experiencing them. But remember, perimenopause can start years before the menopause actually happens, and symptoms can be experienced in our 20s or 30s. It is essential that we're aware of the symptoms of menopause so we can identify it if it might be occurring. So without a doubt, one of the most recognised symptoms of menopause or perimenopause is hot flushing and night sweats. So flushing results from reduced estrogen having a direct effect on the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is a part of the brain that's often referred to as the master gland. It's the gland that's responsible for regulating our body. Among other things, it regulates our appetite, energy levels, and our body temperature. The hypothalamus and the ovaries are in constant communication throughout our lives. In fact, it's the hypothalamus that signals to the ovaries to release eggs during the menstrual cycle. A lack of estrogen means the hypothalamus isn't correctly activated, causing those famous hot flushes. But it isn't just the hypothalamus that's affected. Estrogen also affects our brainstem. A lack of estrogen to the brainstem can impair our sleep patterns. And estrogen also has an impact on our amygdala, an area of the brain that's responsible for emotion and memory. Low estrogen levels can cause mood swings and forgetfulness. It is no exaggeration to say that many people feel like they're losing the plot during these hormonal changes, and it is not uncommon for women to question their mental health during this period. Alongside these hot flushes, memory problems and mood issues, other symptoms can be caused by fluctuating hormones, including vaginal dryness. This can be incredibly uncomfortable and even painful. For some women, simply sitting or walking can become difficult. Low estrogen can cause bladder problems, in particular bladder infections and weakness of the muscles that control urinary flow. Low estrogen can also affect our libido. This can also be affected by a drop in testosterone, but it's probably not helped by vaginal dryness or low mood, to be fair. And low estrogen can also cause bone pain caused by weakness in the bone. These physical and psychological changes can have a tangible impact on most areas of our life. Relationship with families and friends can suffer. Our working life can become harder. And if all that wasn't enough, the hormone deficiencies before and after menopause can increase the risk of developing a host of health problems, including, but not limited to, cholesterol problems, diabetes, heart disease, osteoporosis, dementia, and some types of cancer. So although menopause isn't a disease in itself, it's a hormone deficiency, it is a marker of an increased risk of future diseases. It's not all doom and gloom though. There is some good news. Conversations around menopause are changing and attitudes are changing too. Join me in part 2 as I look at things that can be done to help manage this hormone deficiency. In part 2, I will be looking at hormone replacement therapy. And in part 3, I will be looking at lifestyle and the impact that that can have on your body. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you get notifications when we release these videos and when we release further videos.